was at my last birthday party.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo.
Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy!
Light him up, Colin.
Thursday, October 16th, 2025. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. We're at the City Place Studios over in downtown West Palm Beach. A beautiful afternoon here in South Florida. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo. We got Christian Cat. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm and on the ESPN South Florida app. Got you for the next 2 hours today. We got a good sports night. You got 3 baseball games. The early slate actually being in Los Angeles between the Dodgers and the Brewers, Game 3. And then Game 4 where the Brewers are the Toronto Blue Jays, a little revitalized after a smattering Game 3. They had 18 hits. 18 hits yesterday against the Seattle Mariners. They closed the gap. 2-1 Mariners lead there. 2 more in Seattle to go, including Game 4 tonight, 8:33. First pitch. You also have the battle of the elderly, if you will, between Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers, 41 years old versus 40 years old. It was like those old Drew Brees, Tom Brady games, but neither of these players are near the level of those guys when they were at in their 40s years. But you got the 4-1 Pittsburgh Steelers looking to win a crucial divisional matchup. So we got a little bit of that on Thursday Night Football Prime Video. Mike Rizzo spent his evening at a GameStop overnight waiting for a Pokemon game with some of the more concerning individuals of downtown West Palm Beach. But you hung out at a GameStop. You got your fancy game. Mike's happy. You brought it into the studio for absolutely no reason.
Well, I got my limited edition trading card back.
No reason.
No, the Mega Evolutions with Mega Gardevoir on there, and then
let's
you got
leave the vocabulary.
And then
out
you
of
got the Pokemon ZA cover art. It's
Right.
amazing. Yeah, Kyle, they only gave these away at the GameStop for people.
They
who
only
pre-ordered.
did. So wow, everybody
So
who
it's
was
a collector's
dying
item.
for the
It's a collector's item.
for the Pokemon bag,
Yeah.
say goodbye because you're
It's-
not going to be able to get
But
that.
this marks since Gen 3, we're on to Gen 10. This marks the 7th straight time I've done this at the GameStop and gotten my physical copy of the game.
People showed up.
Yeah, there were 70 people there. You kids are dead wrong, and I told you were.
Did you make any friends?
I talked to 2 guys in line. We were talking about what games we were playing.
Were they rocket scientists?
Oh, God, no. God, no. But one of them was, we were talking about the Oblivion remastered, the Elder Scroll games, not to get too into it.
No,
we
yes,
we were
please
talking
don't.
about what we were gaming on Xbox, on PC. One of them had PlayStation.
You hung out.
And then-
What time did you get out of the GameStop?
So I got there at 11:55. I got home and walked into my apartment at 12:06.
Wow, that's quick.
Yeah, but I was everyone was like waiting in their cars, and then I saw, and I was one of the first cars. Like I got a really good parking spot, and I saw the GameStop employee jingling the keys.
You ran to the door.
I didn't run to the door.
ran.
I just got out of the car and
A ginger jog.
started walking fast.
You
And then-
jogged.
And then
You jogged to the front door of a GameStop at 12 at night.
and then we waited in line for about 2 to 3 minutes. And like I said, we were talking about what games we were playing. There were a lot of Battlefield. There were a lot of Battlefield players out there. That's the most recent,
You
big.
sprinted to the door to beat everybody in line.
No, I didn't sprint to the door, but I definitely had an elite parking spot, and I was.
You ran.
I had keen eyes like a Pidgeot waiting for that
With
guy to open the
binoculars in
door.
the car.
Know what a Pidgeot is, Colin?
So when do they stop giving away the novelty items?
This.
Yes.
So this you only get this with the pre-order. So everyone last night who picked up their pre-order and is going to pick it up at a future date will get one. Everyone else is SOL.
So you could have stopped there on the way to work today.
But
In
yeah,
theory.
I had to pre-order it though.
Right.
But you could have.
But you didn't have to be there at midnight last night.
I played till 3 a.m.
Oh.
Oh, never mind. He
You
had
just
to go
couldn't
get it.
wait.
I couldn't wait. Dude, I told you, I've done this for, gosh, guys, I did this for Pokemon Emerald when I was 10.
It's all right.
I mean,
It's all right.
okay.
I'm happy for you, though. You seem jittery about it. So
Oh,
that's
yeah,
good.
dude, I'm juiced. Absolutely juiced.
Makes you happy. That makes
it
me
was.
happy.
My boy Gomer, he's off work today. He's been, I'm behind. Let's just say I got some ground
Did
to
you
cover
consider
today.
taking work off today?
God, no, it's football season.
Oh, never mind. Oh, of course
football
not.
season.
Today's a pretty slow news day, to be honest. I mean, I feel like today's not a must-be at work day.
I think it is. The Mariners showed up in a big way. And by the way, what a ball game last night. I watched that. I didn't miss any of the game.
It wasn't a great game.
I mean, it was a great game in the sense of you got some life back into the MLB playoffs. You know, I'm rooting hard. Christian's going to yell at me, but I'm rooting hard for the Canadians tonight. I'm rooting hard for the Blue Jays to make this a series and make it a game once it goes back.
Yeah, our guy got shelled.
Dude, I texted you.
He got
your
dominated.
response was the funniest thing you've sent in a while, by the way.
What'd I say? He's got the puppy dog face
Correct.
whenever he gets shelled. He
Correct.
does. He just
He
looks
really
up
did.
at the crowd. George
He really
Kirby
did.
gives up, who pitched for the Mariners yesterday, gives up, a 420-foot shot, and he just looks up in the crowd, and it's like he's on the verge of tears. I'm like, George, come on, buddy. We need you. Yeah, but they just let him get. There was one of those games. Nobody was beating Toronto last night. I don't care who was pitching. Nobody was beating that team. That was what happened there.
Can I wrap up the Pokemon thing with you guys with one more thing? My buddy completely dropped the ball. So my buddy Pat, his sister,
He screwed up. He got there at
dropped the ball.
12:04.
No,
He got stuck in line.
Even worse. Even worse
than that.
Even worse. So my buddy Pat, his sister is like really high up at Target. You guys know what a Target is, right? You know what a Target is?
I'm familiar. Go ahead, continue. Wait, what? The department store?
Yeah. I didn't know if that was like a regional thing. We got one down here. I grew up with them in Ohio.
Are you kidding me?
Is that a national thing? Is Target
Wait,
a
what's Target?
Okay. All right. Well, his sister is high up at Target. And
Mike, there's a Target down the street.
okay, that's what I said. I mean, I didn't know maybe you guys moved down here and go, oh, look at that.
No.
Okay. All right,
I'm a
they
fan
are
of the
national.
alternative
That's
stuff.
it's Walmart.
Okay, all right. Fine.
Next thing you know, you guys hear a Honda?
It's all right.
You heard of mobile?
Because, our Target was right by our Heinen's growing up. You guys don't know what a Heinen's is, right?
No.
Okay. Anyway, he ordered through Target 3 days ago. Guess when his brand... So he did the bundle of the Switch 2 and the game. So he gets the Switch with the game.
He gets the bundle.
He gets the bundle. And he ordered it 2 days ago. Guess when he's getting it? Guess when the Target delivery service is going to get
today.
it? Monday.
Oh,
he's
no.
missing the whole
What an
weekend.
idiot.
What an idiot. Drop the ball. I said, he goes, I made it clear. I made it abundantly clear to my sister that I'm very upset with the Target delivery service. Talk about dropping the ball. He's not getting his bundle due till Monday.
He'll have to watch sports instead.
We're all. Listen, my boy Gomer and I, we're gaming and watching. He's a Squealer fan, so we're Thursday night football. We're multi-boxing.
That's why he took off work.
We're multi-boxing.
That's why he
tonight.
took off
He
work.
took off work. He's got the brand new game, Squealers, playing on Thursday night football.
All right. I'm good.
But Pat completely dropped the ball with the bundle and the Target thing.
A lot of problems there with Pat. First of all, Target is not a Cleveland-only chain.
Okay, fair enough.
There are Targets all over the continent.
Dead wrong there.
I'm pretty
I
sure
claim that.
internationally, too.
I claim that. Dead wrong there. Dead wrong there. All right?
Yeah, pretty consistent throughout, the United States.
Okay.
But speaking of the Steelers going on tonight, taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals showed a little life since Joe Flacco. If you remember, Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, basically going to the media and saying, why did Cleveland do this? Why did Cleveland trade Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals, who are reeling for a quarterback, who are reeling for anything, just a shot of life? Say what you want. Flacco came in there, and he looked a lot better than what Browning's been offering. And the one thing about Flacco is he could surprise people at any point in his career. He's had ups and downs, but he could turn it on a switch. And I actually think the Bengals, once again, will be a little dangerous tonight. I do think the Steelers are going to win, but this is similar to what the Packer game was. They got nothing to lose, and they got a guy who knows exactly what he needs to do in order for give the team the best chance to win. Give it to their playmakers. And that's exactly what the Bengals are going to do tonight. I think this is going to be closer than what the Steelers would have hoped.
And now we all understand why Mike Tomlin was so mad.
Right.
At the time, it's like, God, he's really going after Andrew Berry and the Browns.
He doesn't want to deal with Flacco.
And then-
Flacco's been going against the Steelers for, a decade plus.
Exactly. And I love what you said about getting it to the playmakers. I mean, Jamar Chase was incredible in that game in Green Bay. And I told Theo when I filled in for Christian, what was it, last week when this trade originally happened? Like, Flacco isn't the Flacco that was winning Super Bowls with the Ravens, but Flacco, under good guidance, good coaching, is still going to be able to give you something. I like the Bengals in the 5.5 tonight.
You do like that.
I like the line.
We got to make our
I
cover
like the
5
line.
picks a little later on.
Now, we know Mike Tomlin is king, take the points, and they're going to be in every single game. I could easily see Pittsburgh still winning the game by about a field goal or in a close game, but 5.5 is a lot for a home dog. So let's sit on that. Think about that throughout the show. But I probably would lean the Bengals and
no
momentum.
No Trey Hendrickson tonight, their star edge rusher for the Bengals. You know, some have rumored about people trading him. Some have rumored about a number of things. And with trade season coming about, you got a number of guys who are not playing, injuries, quote unquote. But he is not going to be playing tonight in that Steeler-Bengal game.
Keep in mind, this is the first home game, too, with Flacco at the helm. They were in Green Bay last week. So I don't know. I think there's a little mojo there with the Bengals. I could be dead wrong there, but I know Flacco is going to do a lot better than Browning would at home against them. I think an overrated Pittsburgh defense. I said about the Brewers yesterday. How did this team win 97 games? How are the Steelers 4-1? And that's Mike Tomlin. That's just the Hall of Fame coach. I know I'm answering my own question, but they're 4-1 because they have a Hall of Fame coach and a quarterback in Aaron Rodgers that has played in big spots.
Don't they do this every year? They do this every year.
They start out hot.
They always start out hot. And then they come back down to reality. They've beaten the Jets this year. They beat the Patriots early on before the Patriots really got hot, but they did beat the Patriots. They should have lost that game, too. Patriots had 5 lost fumbles in that game. And then they beat the Vikings, where the Vikings rumbled back. They mostly controlled that. And then they played an awful Browns team. They haven't necessarily – and then they got the Bengals tonight. This has been a fairly easy schedule, and who would have thought that the AFC North would be a little bit of a walkover? If we talked about this a month and a half ago.
Well, it stinks because the quarterbacks got hurt, right? Jackson has missed time. Burrow's out until January. So I think that has a lot to do with it. But Pittsburgh is the team, believe it or not, with a – how old's Aaron? 41? With a 40 – the 41-year-old quarterback was the quarterback that stayed healthy so far.
Tell me if you've heard this before. So the Steelers, let's say they win tonight. They go to 5-1. Wow, top of the AFC. They're going to be in the top 5 of everybody's power rankings, which we'll do next, presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. Then at the next couple weeks, they got the Packers, the Colts, the Chargers, the Bengals again, the Bears, the Bills, and then the Ravens. I could see them winning 2 of those games. That's classic Steelers, where they go 5-1. And then they go, 2-4 in their next 6 games. And then all of a sudden we're looking at a team that's 7-6, and we're questioning, the validity of their playoff spot. That is what I see this Steeler team. Now, they got Rodgers, and Rodgers obviously offers a little bit more than what they traditionally have from that position. But this doesn't necessarily scream to me a new Steeler team.
No, and this isn't a Steeler team, I think, historically, that likes the ground and pound. Their leading rusher is Jalen Warren with a $184
and he's
on
been
the
hurt.
ground.
He's been hurt.
They have 3 rushing touchdowns on the year. Rodgers has dropped back 138 times his throw for 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, 3 picks. This has been a weird offense.
They got a better offense than they usually do, and they got a worse defense than they usually do. They've sort of evened out a little bit. Instead of being super lopsided like they have been in years past, this is going to be a team that you could get a different one of them every single week. I don't necessarily, and they're going to make moves at the deadline. Everybody's been whispering about them making a move for a receiver to get DK Metcalf some help. If only they had, George Pickens. But point being is they're going to look for some help from the receiver end. And this is going to be a team that's looking to load up because Rodgers is probably there for 1 year total. And that's a team that can be 5-1. They go, 3-3 of their next. They're pretty much guaranteed a playoff spot after that. So
agreed.
That's going to be their goal. And they need to win. They don't need to win tonight. They would really like to win tonight because they probably realize how hard the schedule gets in the next coming weeks.
And they would really feel, I think, more comfortable in the division too, right? They would be 2-0 within the division with wins
and
against
no other
Cincinnati
team would have
and
more
Cleveland.
than 2 wins.
And
no other team would have more than 2 wins.
If I could circle back around to the receiver point, I agree with you. Artie Smith, he brought in he got 3 tight ends with Smith, with Washington, and with Freiermuth.
Yeah, it's kind of a classic
it's
offense.
weird,
and a huge receiver in DK.
It's weird because Artie, let's go back to Atlanta. He loved running the ball with Algier and company, and when Bijan was a rookie, when he was still around, like they love to run the football. It's just been an anomaly kind of offensive year, I think, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And with a subpar defense to be 4-1 on your way to 5-1, playing Cincinnati without their franchise quarterback, it is the best way I could dumb it down to him is say it again, Mike Tomlin football. Take your points, punt when you're supposed to. Don't go for it on the 4th and 1s. Don't gamble. Keep yourself in these games, and you're going to have a shot at the end.
Can I even say that if the Steelers somehow lose tonight, I'd be officially worried about them in their 4-2.
Well, the issue is I wouldn't be like worried about them in the sense of winning a playoff game and competing for a Super Bowl.
I mean,
Because they're going to win that division.
I don't learn it. I think they almost have nothing to gain tonight in terms of my perception of them until they start winning big games. But they have a lot to lose because this is what they do. They need to buy themselves a leg up in the early part of the year. And then once they start to come back down to reality, which they do every single year, that's when teams are going to start catching up, and that's when it's going to be, a bit of a back and forth battle. They like to buy themselves a lead. They like to start the season almost on second base and worry about it as they go further. They're a better first half team than they are a second half team, and at least in the past couple of years under Tomlin. And with these teams specifically, 5-1 is better than they usually are. I would say if they lose tonight and they go to 4-2 with the Packers, Colts, on the horizon, and then the Chargers, I'd be worried about them. Let me officially.
I've compiled a list. If Pittsburgh does go to 4-2, they're still most likely, in my opinion, going to win the division because of how awful the Browns are, the inconsistency of the Bengals without Burrow, and Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore have an awful defense.
Really being dead in the water right now with that bad defense and Lamar Jackson injuries. Colin, Denver, Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and Buffalo. Throw Kansas City in there too. So Kansas City, Denver, Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and Buffalo. We would take all those teams over the Steelers, right?
Probably.
And then on the flip side, I'm going to add a couple outliers. New England.
Absolutely.
I would take New England.
Even though the Steelers won head-to-head, if you watch that game, the Steelers played better than – the Patriots played better than the Steelers.
They turned it around after that, right?
It was after that game. They turned the ball over in the red zone like 3 times.
Well, they kept giving it to Stevenson, and he kept coughing
but
up
it was
the
May
football.
too. It was May too. But yes.
And then my last outlier. What are the Houston Texans? I still think we're waiting a little bit on what the Texans are. I think the Texans could still possibly be better. And this is coming from me, who thought Pittsburgh could win a playoff game this year. I didn't know the defense would be this bad. In my defense, I didn't know the Steeler defense would be a Steeler sieve instead of the steel curtain. So I would. That's 6 teams, Colin. Counting Kansas City that I forgot. That's 7 teams, including New England and the Texans, that you would take. The issue is Pittsburgh's probably still going to win that division.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. The only team that mildly even comes close to competing with them would be Baltimore. You're not looking at Cleveland like that. You're not looking at the Bengals like that. You have a sliver of an eye open on the Ravens, even at 1-5. And that's crazy to say, but in terms of the schedule that the Ravens have, if they're able to escape that week post-bye and their Lamar's healthy, they're going to be motivated, even if the Bears win. They have the Bears at home a week from Sunday, so they got 10 days until then, essentially. If they win that game, the following games on their schedule are Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets, Bengals. And then they still have the Steelers twice. So they could also catch up 2 games, and they always split, but they could catch up 2 games just off of that alone. And on top of that, that's 4 games right there consecutively that they could totally win if they escape that.
So
barrier.
You're not dead on the Ravens. I kind of am.
The Ravens,
I'm kind of
they've been so hurt, it's hard for me to make any sort of judgment.
Doesn't it seem like that kind of year where it's
just
maybe
it's like that Niner year, it's just going to continue. But
Yeah.
if they could somehow get healthy, and maybe the fact that it's happened, all these injuries at the beginning part of the year, if they could somehow get healthier, light that fire under them, can I see them make a run with Lamar Jackson at quarterback and that offense? Absolutely, I can.
So 1-5 right now, correct?
Yes.
I got
a sliver of an eye open
they
on them.
can't-
I'm not calling anything. I got a sliver of an eye open on them because there's a path.
We know how week to week this league is. I don't see them. They have to, theoretically, they would have to lose 2 games the rest of the year. I think with 8 losses, you're probably out.
Probably.
I think 10-7 is probably the cutoff. We saw 10-7 teams go. Granted, Kyle was in the NFC, but we saw Seattle go 10-7 and miss the playoffs last year. And I just got done saying Denver, Jacksonville, Indianapolis, Buffalo, New England. And listen, I'm going to have to eat a crow for the New England take. It looks like Hard Rock and Vegas were onto something with their over-under win total. But it just seems like those teams are going to be at 10 wins and 7 losses.
Keeping a sliver of an eye open. Very rarely do we have an MVP caliber top 3 player in the entire league helming a team. Hasn't been healthy. Very rarely do we see that as a 1-5 team.
You getting a pirate patch?
Just a little bit.
Keeping an eye on them.
Keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on them because of their schedule. They played all their tough games early and consecutively. Now they've sort of gotten past that. They're on bye. Hopefully they could reset a little bit. Just keep an eye on them. If they're able to beat the Bears 2-5, Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets, I mean, you're telling me they can't go 4-0 there? Dolphins might have a new coach by then, and so might the Jets. I mean, heck, the Bengals might have a new coach. We haven't even talked about that. Zach Taylor's been on the hot seat for about 3 straight years.
You don't think this is a cop-out with Burrow
It's a
being
cop-out,
injured?
maybe. But at a certain point, when does it break? I'm not saying maybe you're right. It all comes down to the relationship he has with Burrow, and Burrow calls the shots more than anybody in that organization. But if he, for some reason, wants a change of pace, and they're out of the postseason, and this season's the wash, not firing him would tell you he's coming back next year. He's coming back. So Zach Taylor's somebody who has had ample opportunity to do something with this team. And I know it's been bad managing in terms of roster construction. That's another person I'd have my eye on. You don't think the Bengals can change it up? You don't think they'd like to?
My issue with Taylor is that, last year you all go back to that New England game. That's really what left him out. I blame coaching there. I do. I blame
He's
coaching.
had coaching squander after coach. They're never ready in September. Never ready at the early part of the year. And yeah, unlucky with Burrow injuries, fine. But they haven't done much of anything.
I know this just from being a division guy and going to school in Ohio and knowing Bengal fans. Colin, that guy was supposed to be fired the year they went to the Super Bowl. I'm going as 4 or 5 years ago.
They've been
that
saying
guy
this.
was on the hot
They do
seat.
say this every year, and he does just enough to hang around. At what point will that break?
Yeah.
That's where I have an eye. It's not going to happen today, but, Bengals, if they can't figure out to muster up anything, and this season's a lost cause, 3-9, why would he hang around? Why would you keep him around? Unless you think that it's going to be better next year. That's the big question. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. Listen to Russo and Rizzo on the ESPN South Florida app. It's free to download on the App Store. You could listen to ourselves. You could listen in full podcast format. Listen to ESPN 106.3 just about anywhere from your phone. It's free to download. Listen to Theoretically Speaking. Listen to the Inter Miami broadcast, English and Spanish. Listen to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day, which you have every Friday night. Listen to specialty programming, and listen to the Kaiser Seahawks, who have a home game this weekend. We got to do a whole lot more. We'll do our top 10 power rankings of the NFL teams presented by Google Moving and Storage. On the other side of things, it's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 25 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shields Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 or in Mississippi.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. You got a lot of sports this weekend. You got 2 baseball games tonight, Thursday night football. You got a packed weekend, college football. You got Kaiser Seahawks. You got a whole lot of action to stay tuned for. And you could join us and watch some games this weekend live on site.
And Miami is heading to my neck of the woods, Cleveland. And the ESPN West Palm Street team is hitting the road at Vero Bowl in Vero Beach this Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m. Watch Miami take on Cleveland and enjoy game day specials on Miller Lite Draft and Sun Cruiser Vodka Teas. They'll be giving away, the street team will be giving away 2 tickets to a Miami football game. So come join at Vero Bowl in Vero Beach. Enjoy some ice cold Miller Lights and Sun Cruisers. Must be 21 or older to participate, and please drink responsibly. That is the Vero Bowl in Vero Beach. Go watch Miami take on Cleveland with the ESPN West Palm Street team.
888-760-3776. Number to get into the program on Russo and Rizzo. We stay in West Palm. Do we have Chris with us? Chris, what's up? What do you got for us?
Hey, guys. It's not sports related. I just want to say you guys are the best. Listen to you every day. I think your takes are awesome. But I had the first time call because did Rizzo really just ask a question of the 10th largest company on planet Earth that if you'd ever heard of a Target?
Yeah, that got Chris out of the woodshed.
Chris,
how about
come
that?
on, Chris.
That's ridiculous.
Come on, Chris.
I'm blown away by that.
You lost 100% credibility on anything. I can't. I mean, I thought it was a goof at one point, but you were serious.
No, I was dead, Chris. I was dead serious.
Every 6 miles.
That's a tough one, Chris. That's a tough one that I'm just gonna have to wear. It's like a Kroger. Chris, you ever heard of a Kroger?
Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Those are a bit regional. Kroger's a bit regional.
A little bit more than Target.
You know what I mean? Like,
guys, you heard of Walmart? Heard of McDonald's? Are you kidding me?
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Chris, we appreciate the kind words. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it, my friend. Good call by Chrissy. How about that?
Just remind me I'm an idiot. It's fair.
Look at this. Chris loves listening to the show. He's not the type that likes to call. And then he hears that, and he's like, I got to pick up the phone and this guy a piece of my mind. Can you believe that?
Just hear me.
Can you believe that? I'm happy that Chris called because we appreciate the kind words. But, I mean, it took you to, confuse Walmart with, the mom and pop
Not
down
Walmart.
It's
Target.
level of Walmart.
Confuse Target.
It's close.
All right. I dropped the ball. It's all right. Drop the ball, mate. What are you going to do? You pick it up and you dust yourself up.
Chris
put
is right.
some spit on it. Rub some spit on it. And get back in the huddle.
Every 6 miles.
All right.
That's not not being hyperbolic.
What are you going to do?
Like, we got to talk to Dr. Al about this one. Like, there might be like a problem upstairs if you did not think people knew what a Target was.
You guys ever heard of that? He went to a Target. You guys heard of Target? Yeah.
That didn't come up in the brain scan?
Yeah.
I didn't know if they were regional.
Yeah,
I thought they might have been regional.
It's down the street. You drive by one every single day to get to work.
Listen, you
like a big one.
You didn't live in Florida your whole life. I don't know. Who knows? I didn't know if it was a Northeast thing or not. Apparently, it's they got them in Europe. All right, I'm dead wrong here. What do you want me to do? Get on my knees and beg for forgiveness? No. Rub some spit on it, admit you're wrong, and get back in the huddle.
Good
next
call,
play.
Chris. Appreciate it.
As Coach Butts would say, next play is next play.
Is that the turn of the phrase in Ohio, rub some spit on it? I've heard dirt.
Rub some dirt, put some spit on it, and get back in the huddle.
Like you skim your knee. You rub dirt on it. I've never heard like...
Well, no, I mean,
The combination.
I think it's the expression.
To put some biology into it. When an infant, when an infant, a young person gets hurt, they immediately start licking their wound because the spit has antibodies that.
Oh, okay, like licking your wounds.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
That wasn't
some
making
spit
fun
on
of.
it and get back in the huddle. You're good, Riz. Next play, they're coming at you. Be ready. Let's go. What are you gonna do?
What's
Drop
the next
the ball,
major corporation we're gonna
Drop the ball,
confuse
mate. What are you gonna do?
for a local brand?
You guys don't know what a Heinens is. The Heinens was next to the damn Target growing up. I lived in a bubble for about 25 years before I moved to Peoria. Leave me alone.
All right. We'll do our top 10 here, presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage.
Who's moving up?
Eagles still best team in the NFL. You know that they're not distracted.
Who's moving down?
I'm down on the Packers. This is going to be a major problem. We'll see.
It's time for the Russo and Rizzo NFL Power Rankings. Presented by
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
All right, folks, time to do our top 10 power rankings presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. Go to GreekMoving.com for more information. That is GreekMoving.com. My guy Spiro going to take care of all your relocation needs.
Number 10.
All right, Colin.
Here's what we did last week. Week 6 going into week 7. Our first two out, we go through up to 12. Our first two out were the Chiefs at number 12 and the Chargers at number 11. Seattle was sitting there steady at 10. Niners were at 9. Jaguars, Packers, Rams, Colts, Tampa, Bills, Eagles, Lions to finish it off.
How bad, we got to get a couple of things out of the way. How bad do we punish Buffalo? How bad do you punish Philadelphia? Is that like, I probably still have them in the top 10, but that means you're moving teams out if you are. I told you I wasn't that worried about Buffalo yesterday.
You know who's a team who needs to jump high?
Who?
Because of that win over Buffalo is New England, who was not in the top 12 last time. They have to be somewhere around here.
I still probably put them as one of the first teams out. I wouldn't put them in the top 10.
We know the Chiefs are moving in. Chargers, I'm indifferent on that. That Miami game doesn't necessarily show me a whole lot. Chiefs are definitely moving in, and Jacksonville's definitely moving out.
I'm fine with keeping the Chargers. I think the Chargers stink. I've been on that for a while. I think they got out to a hot start. If
you're going week by week, the win wasn't that impressive.
Yeah, they got out to a hot start. I probably would keep them anywhere from 14 to 13 right now, the Chargers.
No, they were 11 last week. They're not moving down.
I think they moved down. I think teams. I mean, I guess 4-1 Pittsburgh. Should they be knocking on the door?
Probably. Yeah.
So
they continue winning. You're gonna have to reward the record at some point. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say that if there's a top 10 team, a 4-1 team, what are we gonna leave them out?
Right.
That's where it gets a little unfair.
That's why I think at like 9, 10.
Because I think you take Jacksonville out. You take Jacksonville out. They had a terrible loss at home to Seattle.
Okay.
They were at 8. I would say if you're gonna go 10, I think Steelers is a good option.
Okay. Let's do Pittsburgh.
Number 10.
At 10.
All right, and in the first team out, we're going to keep the Chargers on the outside looking in. I say you kept the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Patriots maybe here.
Yeah, I think New England. I think New England, then Jacksonville. And I know it's punishing Jacksonville a little bit.
Yeah, we're punishing them quite a bit, but I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
That was a really bad loss. They get a chance to move back. If they beat the Rams going into their bye, they're going to be right back in.
So,
Number 9.
Is this Kansas City?
Yes.
Would 9 be Kansas City and still have
think about it. The San Francisco lost, too.
Right.
So you could move San Francisco. You could keep San Francisco here and move Kansas City moves up.
But then, like, the Seahawks.
Right. Seahawks are moving up. I would say the Niners would stay here at 9. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Number 9.
All right, so we got the Steelers at 10, the 49ers sticking at 9.
And then now we're on to
Number 8.
This is our top 10 power rankings presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. Go to GreekMoving.com for more information. What do you think here, kid? This you could go a plethora of ways.
Yeah.
You could go Kansas City.
Where you put the Eagles and the Bills,
You could go Rams, Packers, Colts, Lions. Lions lost too. You don't want to ask me who my
Number 1
is, but we'll get to that in a second. But I think we really have to pinpoint where we want to put Kansas City. I think they belong at 8. I think they're 3-3.
And they beat the Lions. They just beat the Lions. Yeah, I agree with this because the Lions have a better body of work.
I think we put them at 8. I still think the 4-2 teams like Buffalo, the Eagles.
Yeah, it's not like Kansas City has
Rams.
been on some unbelievable run. Remember, they did lose to Jacksonville on Monday Night Football about 11 days ago. You got to keep that in mind.
All right, so number 8, we're going with Kansas City. We're moved on to
number 7.
All right, now we got to get to the 4-2s, the Seattles, the Rams. I'm even going to throw Green Bay in there with that ridiculous
Green
tie.
Bay was 7 last week.
Philadelphia, and then obviously Buffalo. So are we holding? Does Green Bay get rewarded with the win, unlike a couple other 4-2 teams that lost in the Eagles and Buffalo? Would you put the Eagles and Buffalo at 7? Or
Who
is
are
that
we
way
putting
too
ahead
low?
of what? Who's going to be ahead? Eagles or Buffalo?
I probably still put the Eagles over the Bills.
I disagree with that.
Really? Dude, Buffalo.
They lost to the Giants by 17 points on Thursday Night Football. I mean, that's
Dart's come-out game.
That's not a. That's not that. That's
Dart's
not that.
come-out game, man.
They blew a 14-point lead at home, Denver, and then
Hurts was missing throws. We have to put one of those two teams, I think, here at 7. And you're leaning more towards the Eagles. I'm fine with it. I won't push back on it. I just know that that's a team that's probably going to have 4 or 5 losses at the end of the year and a chance to get that number 1
Well,
seed.
let's think about the teams that we have left. We're at 7 right now, correct?
Correct.
We have the Chiefs, Niners, Steelers at 8, 9, and 10.
Yep.
We have the Lions, the Packers, the Eagles, the Rams, the Colts, Tampa Bay,
Seahawks.
and Seahawks. I think you put both. Just off of what we've seen recently,
You punish them.
you got to punish them.
So
Number 7.
we will go Philadelphia.
I'm fine
with
putting
this.
Philly or the Bills.
I'm fine with this. But
And then I would go next.
Number
I would
6.
go Philly. Do you agree with that?
yeah. So wait, I thought you wanted Philly at 7. You want Buffalo at 7?
Let's do what you said. Eagles
Okay.
at 7.
Okay.
The Bills at 6.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah, just
I don't like that. They lost to the Giants. I mean, like the Falcons are better than what the Giants are, and so are the Patriots. It's the worst loss of the bunch.
it is. And Allen did throw 2 picks. They were comparatively both bad, but that moves us on to
Number 5.
All right, so you got Seattle, you got the Rams, you got Green Bay, Colts, Lions.
Let's eliminate
Tampa.
Colts and Tampa.
Yep.
I think you put the
Lions getting punished to losing to Kansas City, or is this where Green Bay checks in with their 3 wins? It's either Green Bay or the Lions.
Green
yeah.
Bay.
It's either
Lions lost at Arrowhead. Okay, can we blame them that much
No.
for it?
No.
That was a game that Kansas City needed. Lions didn't necessarily need that, especially out of conference. I think you put Green Bay here.
So number 5
Number
is
5.
Green Bay. That moves us on to?
Number 4.
Do we put the Lions here?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you put, because, God, you know what, selfishly.
It was a game they weren't in. They weren't in the game.
And Colin, selfishly, I'm a little upset with what they did for my parlays, man. They really,
So,
they did a number.
You want to add your personal gambling
I do.
deficit to this?
They did a number.
Wow.
They did a number on me, mate.
Right.
They did a
Or
number.
journalistic integrity.
They did a
That's
number.
right. That's right. It is.
They did a number on me.
All right, I'm fine. Lions we can put it 4, and then you got 3 remaining. So let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
It's got to be the Rams. It's got to be the Rams.
I think so, too.
It's got to be the Rams. No question. They had that bad 49er loss the most recently. Here's the thing. I know it's understandable to say, hey, but they beat the Colts head-to-head.
Colts have better wins.
Colts have better wins.
I think
the
they have
Colts
better wins. They have the better record.
Better record.
They have the better record. They have better wins at this moment.
If they're at the same record, we'd have a different discussion. And I understand. I value the head-to-head, but you can't. You're gonna run into this. These teams play each other. Like we're gonna run into this a number of different times.
Now, let's move on.
Number 2.
Because I think here we got to make one thing clear. Seattle is probably going to get left out of the top 10 then. There's no room for them. Because Tampa Bay.
Did we screw this up? Seattle's in this.
Are they?
Yes.
Are they?
Not a question. Not a question. Did we screw this up? Did we really?
We did, because number 2 would be the Colts. Number 1 would be Tampa Bay. But my
So
pushback.
there is not even a question here that you take out the 49ers at 9 and you put in Seattle.
Or you could take out the Steelers. They are 4-1. Could take out the Steelers, go San Fran 10, Seattle 9.
I would put Seattle right there above. I understand the Niners have beaten them. Seattle's got more impressive wins. They have beaten the Steelers. That's fair. But, I mean, they won at Jacksonville, and they won easy.
You're punishing San Francisco.
They lost.
Number 9.
We'll go Seattle.
Yeah, we screwed that
here.
up. That's our bad.
And then
Number 10.
it's still Pittsburgh, pending them losing to Cincinnati tonight. Look how I think they might. All right, number 2.
Number 2.
I think it's simple. I think it's the Colts, and I would probably
Number 1.
put Tampa Bay at 1. Are you fine with that?
Yeah, I'm ultimately fine with that.
Dude, Tampa Bay, man. Baker Mayfield, Todd Bowles. How about this? Todd Bowles, they couldn't fire that guy fast enough with the New York Jets. Baker Mayfield. The Browns himself mutually agreeing that they had to get out of Dodge. Goes to Carolina, fizzles out there, finds life with McVay. Fast forward 3 years later, he is
Number 1
on the Good Greek Moving and Storage top 10.
Tampa's a
power
little bit
rankings.
more pretty. They've played a little bit better of teams. You got to reward that.
Yep.
Colts, Raiders and the Cardinals last 2 for Indianapolis. How much can you really put stock in that? I love Indianapolis. I'm for them. They got a big game against the Chargers at the Chargers this week. That's the type of game that can catapult you into the 1 slot if you play your cards right. So that's a big game. You win that game, you're going to be turning some heads. Now the Buccaneers at the Lions coming off a loss. This is that 1 spot's going to be wide open next week, if I had to guess.
Folks, this is how the top 10 power rankings came out. Pittsburgh at 10, Seattle at 9, Kansas City at 8, Philly at 7, Buffalo at 6, Green Bay at 5, Lions at 4, Rams at 3, Colts at 2, and
Number 1.
For this week, the number 1 spot on the Good Greek Moving and Storage top 10 power rankings are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. To Colin's point, I think this is going to be completely blown up next week. We really punished the likes of Philadelphia and Buffalo for losing.
6 and 7, yeah, absolutely.
Really punish them. That's
you can't
the story
lose 2 in
here.
a row apiece and not be in the top 5.
And
you can't do that. That's not fair.
And I did not have the Colts at number 2 on the bingo card. But that is the top 10 power rankings presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. And folks, if you're moving soon, I do not want you to stress that. What you're going to do is call my good friend Spiro over at Good Greek Moving and Storage for your total relocation solution. For packing and storage, the local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has got you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and even sports teams like the Hurricanes and the Heat for over 2 decades. Make your next move safe and simple and stress-free with the world's only total relocation service. And all of the employees that are out in trucks for Spiro and Good Greek go through the Superhero Movers Academy at Good Greek. These are the guys you can trust, the guys you trust with your families. Give them a look at GreekMoving.com. That is GreekMoving.com. Call it at 866-738-3198. That is Good Greek Moving and Storage in our top 10 NFL power rankings this week.
Tua Tagovailoa walked backwards and walked back to his phrasing of how he, referred to the team and their ability to show up to meetings on time. He walked back on his words. We'll get into that a little bit more. On the other side of things, it's Russo Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Fall just got sweeter at your neighborhood DQ Grill and Chill. This month, treat yourself to the brand new Reese's Oreo Blizzard. And if you're still craving the flavors of fall, you've got to try the Pumpkin Pie Blizzard and the Caramel Coffee Cookie Blizzard. If you're hungry for something savory, try DQ's new Sweet Chili Tossed Chicken Tenders or their famous Honey Barbecue and Wild Buffalo Tossed Tenders. Come in today to DQ Grill and Chill with 2 convenient locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Step inside the Gardens Mall to witness Halloween magic. On Saturday, October 25th, bring the little monsters to the Kids Club Spooky Soiree. Wear your costume to the Grand Court and indulge in offers from participating stores starting at noon. Booga and Hooga will also be in the house for a special performance at 1 p.m. Stick around afterwards to have your photo taken with the stars of the show. Fun is brewing at the Gardens Mall. You don't want to miss it.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com, pbhnphysiciangroup.com, to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group. Group.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. Tua Tagovailoa went to the media after the game on Sunday and basically said, players aren't showing up on time, players aren't taking this seriously. No wonder we're not that good. It's not that serious around here. The leadership has not been good enough, taking accountability on himself and sort of pointing the finger at himself and also the coaching staff. He came out again after the whirlwind that caused because of that, and he basically said he made a mistake by saying that, and he apologizes profusely. Do we buy that?
No, because the players aren't showing up to his meetings, and I feel like he got hurt about that. And I give Tua credit for, doing said meetings, and I'm completely speculating, by the way. Maybe the player meetings were held by Tua and the rest of the brass of the captaincy, but I don't know. This seemed personal after the game. This seemed personal, guys missing out on his specific meetings, but I think it tells you what it tells you what the organization thinks, right? With him coming out and saying the organization did not agree with Tua, hence why he's walking back on his word. It's a bad look, and this is what happens with 1-5 football teams. This is exactly what happens with bad football teams and 1-5 football teams.
One domino falls after another. But if that happens to you when you're driving around, you get into a car accident, truck accident, slip and fall, you hit your head, you never know what can happen with accidents that are random. My friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine are the type at Anajar and Levine accident attorneys that like to fight for you. They don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. I know with them, they got my back. They could get yours too. They're the experienced, established lawyers here in South Florida. Don't settle for any attorney. Settle for the best. Go get Anajar and Levine today because it takes just that one phone call to take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call with a free consultation now. Call 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Take back control with Anajar and Levine. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. I agree with you that this is a bad look because I think what this does show is, hey, you go out, you speak outwardly against the team, and one of two things happened. One of three things happened. Option A, the players that he criticized did not agree with this.
Right.
And this caused a little bit of an uproar in the locker room saying, hey, don't do that to the media because this is not a media war. This should be an internal war. You did the wrong thing by going to the media and singling us out, acting like you're high and mighty. That could be option A. Option B was the coaching staff and the team came back and said, you should not do this because you should walk back your word because this is not a good look for a coaching staff, a front office that is on their last legs. This shows instability. This is not the type of look that the Miami Dolphins are trying to portray right now at this point in the season. Option C is they both happened. And if that's the case, it has been too far gone. It is too far gone. You can't go back and forth, and I can't dissect every little thing that Tua says, but when you're walking back saying, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have said that, what, you shouldn't have held the team accountable? You shouldn't have targeted guys for not taking it seriously?
That's why I think it sounds a little more personal, that they specifically hurt him and whatever he was trying to do in a leadership capacity.
Hurting him, he has every right as the leader of the team to hold the guys accountable.
Well, they clearly don't respect him. If that's true, then they clearly don't respect him. Colin, do you want to know what the final nail in the coffin, the nail in the wall could be? A loss to the biggest laughing stock in the league on Sunday, baby. Dave Judah, our director of ops, and fair play to Dave because, my whole family lives there, and I had no idea. 40-mile-an-hour winds in Cleveland coming up this Sunday. Good luck.
That's favorite for the Browns.
Good luck, Tua. Good luck. If they lose at Cleveland and go 1-6, I could see some things happen. I could see some things shaking up a bit. Mid-season. You cannot lose that game. You can't lose to Cleveland, who's got Dylan Gabriel.
Well, it's 50-mile-an-hour winds.
Can't lose that game, mate. It's like, and I'm going to need Christian to back me up on this because you think they're going to the college football playoff. It's like losing to Northwestern at home if you're Ohio State or Penn State. Can't do it. Can't do it, mate.
Northwestern's underrated.
They stink.
Northwestern is better to the Big Ten than what the Browns are to the NFL.
No, they stink.
Nope. That is completely true.
They stink.
Very underrated. Beat UCLA, too, who's now all of a sudden really good. But point being,
but you get my I
do understand. That could be a nail in the coffin moment because if this just continues to happen, at what point is it too much? Do the Dolphins just not care enough? Does it's Stephen Ross down the street. Does he not see this? He's built the building I think we're sitting in. Does he not see the back and forth charade that is going on with Miami? They see that this happens every single week where either somebody says something too strong, somebody says something too light, and I understand when you're not winning, you look for answers. And you look for answers in terms of media availability, press conferences. It's impossible to say the right thing because there is no right thing. Look at New York with Aaron Glenn. They're going to criticize everything he says, positively or negatively. You got to walk the line. But when it's this polarizing and it's this reflective of what's going on inside the locker room, because that's exactly what this is. Tua going out saying players are not taking this serious. They need to start showing up to meetings, and then turning around 2 days later and saying, I shouldn't have went after the players. Well, are you making up the fact that the players did not show up to the meetings on time? Or are you trying to protect them now to the media, thinking that this is better solved internally?
I think he got put in timeout, personally.
Yeah. They told him, hey, this makes it look like bad for us. We know it's bad because it's not good and it's made out to be bad in the media. It's not sunshine and rainbows in between the walls. It's probably a nightmare, even more than we know, in between the walls. And they're trying to save face with the media. They probably went to Tua and said, this doesn't help anything. We know that there's a lot of issues here. You do not need to loop in the media. But to the same token, it's the NFL. It's the most covered aspect of pop culture or any culture, probably in the United States, and the most dissected. So because of that, yes, you're going to have to answer questions about what's going on in between the walls because you cannot hide what is going on in Miami.
And everything you say is going to get dissected. Everything you say is going to get used against you and or play to the narrative of a journalist. Kyle, you've been around New York media your whole life. You've seen these coaches and players get eaten alive better than anybody. Tua, he got put in timeout by the organization, and now he looks like an idiot.
It looks
and
soft.
That's why I think this is
unstable.
I think this is a snowball effect. It's a snowball effect that's leading up to a must-win game. And I think 40-mile-an-hour winds. We learn if we know one thing, all right,
if it's a defense muddied up game, that favors the Browns.
It does, and the Dolphins don't play well.
Dolphins are a better team than the Browns are, but
Dolphins don't play well in conditions, Colin. Like they can't play in the cold, we could have a conversation about that, but it's like conditions, snow, negative weather, wind, they're not going to win those games. And then all of a sudden you're 1-6 losing to the worst team in the league.
So are you saying you could see a firing?
I could see a coordinator. I could see
they're not getting rid of the coordinator does nothing. They're getting I would say head of the snake or nothing.
But you know what I'm saying? Like someone's going to get fired if they lose this game. And I don't think it's quite McDaniel yet. And you guys, and in South Florida, they don't do this. The Dolphins don't fire coaches midseason, correct? I believe they never fired a coach midseason, and it's just not what they do. But losing to Cleveland and going 1-6, man, ooh, you're really playing with fire. You're putting your hand over the flame right now, and I think Tua's pouring gasoline in it by apologizing.
It's not the type of team to have a very candid quarterback with the media. It's not the type. We don't need that. But to the same token, I actually saying that to the players. Yes, it reflects that the team is not operating to the best of their ability and that it's poorly functioning. But he's trying to hold people accountable. Can we really knock him for that? There is no leadership. And yes, you think negatively about what after what Tua said, but the fact that he said it, I can't knock. And if he's going out and I say I made a mistake, maybe it's because I didn't want to start this media whirlwind when this is the last thing the team needs. But if that is true and guys aren't showing up, guys are not taking it seriously in that Dolphin locker room, or guys are just not as focused as they could be, and that includes the coach, somebody's going to have to take criticism. Somebody's going to have to be held accountable. And internally, it is clearly not working. You got Thursday Night Football tonight. You got 2 baseball games, an early one in Los Angeles, Game 3, Dodgers-Brewers. And you also have Game 4, Blue Jays-Mariners coming up tonight. You can bet all this on the Hard Rock Bet app. Go download on the App Store, Google Play Store, or the Apple App Store. It's all free to download. Go get started now. If you bet just $5 on the app, you win that first $5 bet. You get $150 in bonus bets immediately if you win that bet. It's that easy. Refer a friend to get an additional $50 in bonus bets. I just gave you a way to get $200 in bonus bets on the app. You could do it today. You could parlay a little Thursday night action. You could parlay a player prop, do a home run, do a run score line, over under on runs. You could do it all on the app, any league, anytime, live or in the future. It's all available on the Hard Rock Bet app. It's best because it caters to both types of players. The brand new player on the sportsbook and the experienced player. It covers all the bases, quite literally. That's Hard Rock Bet, offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida. The wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. 888-760-3776. I'm going to add a little context before we get to this, before break, quickly, because I'm in a bit of a stalemate, Mike. I'm not a fantasy football guy. You know, I do.
You need advice.
No, I do not.
Okay.
There's this is an ego thing, but there's me and a gentleman who was on the line for some reason he wanted to call. And me and him have a trade, in principle, agreed upon. It's one of those things. I'll give you the trade. It's Rome Odunze. I have Rome Odunze, and it's for Jalen Warren and Tet McMillan. I needed a running back. We agreed on it on principle.
Warren stinks.
Warren's coming back.
He stinks.
Please.
They have no run game.
I have Chase Brown. I can't listen to that. Point being, I wanted to accept it.
Wow, you're in a shoot, kid.
But it turned into one of those things where I told him, all right, I will do it. Just send it. And then he's like, I'm not sending it. I'm like, I'm not sending it either. Now, no trade. So now we're in a bit of a stalemate of who would rather send it.
Why won't you send it? You need the running back. He's doing you a solid.
I'm 4-2. He's 2-4.
He's fleecing you blind.
No, he's not.
Okay.
Arian joins us now on ESPN West Palm. Arian, welcome into Russo and Rizzo. What's on your mind? You got a bone to pick with me, apparently?
Rizzo, it's a pleasure to speak with you. Colin, I wish I could say the same thing.
These guys are such.
I don't know why you're laughing, Colin. Nothing's funny about this. First off, the collusion you did in the league to veto my trade. That's number one.
Hang on. Now you're leaving details out.
No, he made a garbage trade, and I just led the pack of saying this should be vetoed, and it got vetoed.
Nope.
And then I was all upset.
What was the trade, Ari?
Okay.
He got
Ari, what was the trade?
We don't need to get too much into the details, but it was a rough trade. He got Justin
Jefferson. Quick overview. Devo, Trey McBride for Justin Jefferson, essentially. Colin's mad that I didn't accept this trade, so he got the whole league to veto my trade due to that.
Okay.
Fine. You want to call collusion? It's not. Everybody agreed.
So, Ari, let me ask you this. You won't send the trade?
Yeah.
I know why Colin won't. I work with him every day. I don't need to ask him why he won't send the trade.
Yeah, absolutely.
But why won't you send the trade? Why won't you send it?
Principle.
It's principle. Now, it's principle with him, but it's, and it's an ego thing with me. This is why I can't take him seriously. All right, send the trade. I'll accept it. All right? Bottom line. You send the trade, I'll accept it.
Colin, how about this? Stop talking for 2 minutes, go on ESPN, press 2 buttons, and send that over my way.
Appreciate you chiming in, Arian. Thank you so much for joining.
Dude, but in the end of the day, you're the one who needs something here because you have Chase Brown. And I have him too. Trust me, I'm in a tough spot. But the good news is I have James Cook. So I'm able
Josh
to
Jacobs. I have Josh Jacobs.
Okay, all right. Well, it sounds like we're in similar situations.
I'm 4-2,
but
he's 2-4.
But you need, you're the one in need. You're the one who reached out to him and said, hey, I'm looking for
You
a
ever be
running
in one
back.
of those moments where you're standing on principle? We're not going to let this slide.
No.
That's it.
Dude,
we're standing on I'm not, Orion, you want to make the trade. Send the trade.
Dude, Jalen Warren stinks. Kenneth K, they give the ball to Gainwell more than they do to him.
Warren is better than what Brown is. Brown stinks. You want to talk about stinks?
Colin, I'm rolling the dice tonight. I'm rolling the dice tonight.
Dude, I got no choice. I'm rolling the dice too.
I'm rolling the dice. James Cook's on a bye too. I'm in a tough spot with my 2 running backs.
What are you going to do?
And I drafted Aaron Jones, who's been rotting on the IR for about 5 weeks.
I'm not giving up principle for Jalen Warren. It's not happening.
I mean, you should be trading for Jalen Warren. You could find something better on the waiver wire.
No. I think you're downplaying Jalen Warren a little bit. But nonetheless, that's enough fantasy talk. That's enough. Appreciate Arian for chiming in. How about that? You can see how frustrated he is.
My guy Ari.
He works at a bank, so he's probably in the stall in the bathroom making fantasy calls to his buddy's radio show. That's exactly what he's doing.
Fair play to Ari. I appreciate he's listening. Honest to God, appreciate him listening.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he listens during the day, maybe because he's trying to pick
Listens
my
at
brain.
the desk.
That's fine. Appreciate it, Arian. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. We'll loop in Christian on the other side of things. Do a little 5 and 5, presented by Flagler Credit Union. Stay tuned for it. Russo and Rizzo coming up after this on ESPN 106.3.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Brought to you by FDOT.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Are you tired of the hassle of buying a car? At Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach, we're changing the game. No pushy salespeople here, just friendly product specialists on salary here to help you find the perfect ride. With over 500 vehicles in stock and a goal to sell 250 by month's end, that means incredible deals are waiting for you. Forget the back and forth negotiations. Once you pick your dream Kia, you'll work with one manager the entire time, making decisions on the spot for a smooth, stress-free experience. We'll even handle the paperwork, your tags, insurance, and every detail. Need help learning all the features? We'll schedule a post-delivery session when it's convenient for you. And if you can't make it in, we'll bring a new Kia right to your home or office for a test drive. Plus, for a limited time, you'll see the factory invoice right on the windshield of every car in the showroom. Visit Greenway Kia today or shop online at GreenwayKiaWestPalmBeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Two of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com BasketballReference.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and if you love football, you're in the right place. ESPN 106.3 has it all. Under the lights, the rivalry runs deep. Steelers, Bengals, hard hits, big moments, and no love lost. Coverage of Thursday Night Football begins at 7:30 here on ESPN 106.3.
In sports and in life, how you move matters. So when injuries or pain get in the way, the orthopedic specialists at HSS Florida provide world-class care to get you moving again. From non-surgical and surgical care to personalized rehabilitation, HSS Florida offers the same quality and expertise you expect from HSS, the world's #1 in orthopedic care, with 2 convenient locations in West Palm Beach and Wellington. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida. Choose better, move better.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit signoramawpb.com.
This football season, make Hurricane Grill and Wings your game day getaway. Sip on handcrafted cocktails like our Millionaire Margarita or enjoy an ice-cold Bud Light. Game day drink specials are here all season. Visit hurricanewings.com to find a location near you.
South Florida, you've got the Dolphins, you've got the Heat, and you have the Stanley Cup champions twice. This is Evan Cohen telling you your Florida Panthers are taking over ESPN 106.3 and the new ESPN South Florida app. Hockey Town? No. Hockey Paradise? Absolutely.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Call into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Mercy! Light him up, Colin!
5 o'clock hour, presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. Also on the ESPN South Florida app. You got Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, and Christian Cat. Beautiful day in South Florida, the 16th of October, 2025. If you're the type that's trying to gear up for a great night of sports, you're going to your local high school football game, because I know there's games tonight and tomorrow. I think the best thing for that, to really get you jazzed up for the game, stop somewhere like Racetrack, get some hot food.
Support Racetrack, man, because Racetrack is supporting us. They're more than just your one-stop shop for a football tailgate, but they've got everything you need for that. They are our team's biggest fan. They've got this mentality, a style of convenience, whatever gets you going. Your go-to for all the game day essentials, ice-cold drinks, salty snacks, sweet treats, and freshly made in-house pizza. You got to try out Swirl World. Yeah, they've got Froyo. A bunch of options, a bunch of toppings. You can swirl 2 different flavors together. It's incredible, and it's right at your local Racetrack. Racetrack proudly operates under the mission of making people's lives simpler and more enjoyable, serving as that one-stop shop for quality and convenience on the go. 7.5 million customers strong every single week. We're all in this together. Join Racetrack this fall. Cheer on your local high school football team at Racetrack. We're proud to fuel dreams by supporting our local high school athletes. Together, we're making a difference.
Christian, how are you today?
You've been better. Got to be honest.
Wow.
Just flat out honest, man.
Did it bother you to see that the GameStop was packed to the brim with people?
I told you guys this yesterday. This was a lose-lose for Mike Rizzo. He either is wrong in thinking that there would be a lot of people at a random GameStop at midnight for a Pokemon release, or he and dozens of others look like losers to choose to spend their Wednesday night in unison to get a video game.
We didn't go to Target.
No.
It's been a rough show for me, man.
So I'm not taking an L here because I diagnosed the lose-lose situation from a mile away.
I just like the whole, like, dude, if you like Pokemon, you're a loser thing. It's like pretty crazy to me in 2025, but fair play to you guys, man.
It's
fair play to you
more
guys.
of like liking Pokemon as an adult. in the year 2020. That's where the wires get crossed.
Grew up on
I
it, man.
grew up on the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
They're uncomparable. The Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is for toddlers.
Okay.
This isn't for toddlers.
Where does Pokemon air its episodes?
It's Netflix. The new episodes.
They still have episodes?
They have episodes. Pokemon Horizons
So it's
with
not on
Liko
the
and Roy and Captain Pikachu. Come on, guys. I mean,
Not on the Cartoon Network?
it's on Netflix, and
Okay.
they bought it for a boatload of money. You want to know what the best thing's running on Netflix now? What's paying their bills? Anime.
Okay, that's different. Different.
No.
There's animes that made for adults.
Pokemon is anime.
All right.
Pokemon started as a manga. And I know you guys don't know what manga is. It's basically
That's not
comic
a knock
books.
on us for not knowing what that is.
Well, guess
No.
what? It's Japanese comic books. All the animes were mangas first.
Right.
All right?
Right.
And Pokemon was not for kids at all. I mean,
It kind of feels like it's for kids.
You guys are, listen, I'm not doing this today. The audience for Pokemon are the people that grew up on it like me who are now in their 30s, okay? Did you look at the GameStop? Did you see how many grown
It's
people
a school night.
were in
Their
there?
kids aren't going to bed.
Be irresponsible for there were children there.
No. There was one. I give the kid credit. He took both of his parents there, and then he picked up his copy. That was it.
Wow.
It was a 12-year-old who was in there. I told him fair play to him on my way out.
On a school night.
I said, go and play. I said, don't go to school tomorrow.
All right. So my best friend is AI, and AI tells me when asking the question, what is the target audience for Pokemon? The primary target audience for Pokemon is children aged 5 to 12.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
In 2005, I'm sure it says.
The people that's their target audience, but it's not who buys the most of their product.
5 and 12-year-olds don't have
not.
bank accounts to buy the said product.
It's not. It's people like me who
You
have
keep
grew up with it.
you keep the lights on.
Absolutely.
Wow.
But it's not just me alone because they're the top grossing media company.
There's an
ever
There's
in
an army of 6 of you.
in the
Keep the lights on.
in the history of the world. The top grossing media company is Pokemon. So
The
you guys know more
CEO
than I
and
do,
COO of WonderFi is Kei Kawashima. And he says the target audience for the game is around 5 years old.
Yeah, well, it's...
You're telling me
He's dead
Kei
wrong?
doesn't know
Is
what
he
he's
dead
talking
wrong?
about?
Is he dead wrong?
Yeah, dead wrong. Dead wrong. Dead wrong, boys.
All right.
Dead wrong. 5-year-olds. Dead wrong. Okay?
All right. He's dead wrong.
Tell that to the group of 30-year-olds that when we were outside of GameStop last night waiting for the doors to be open. Couldn't play the game.
You guys are the only ones who qualified for the console.
No, that was 2 months
Need
ago.
need
that
100 hours to get a console.
That was 2
What a
months
waste.
ago. That was 2 months ago in the Mario Kart bundle. It was the only Switch 2 game you could buy. And when they strategically released it because they were making sure that loser second market dweebs couldn't sell them for $1,200 because there are none on the market and they could corner the market.
Well, why don't we bounce around a little bit? Let's do a little 5% by Flag Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking Big Ten.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU Athletics. Number 1.
Well, some breaking news out of the college football world. Indiana Hoosiers head coach Curt Cignetti, a couple of days after he had the biggest win of his head coaching career over Oregon on the road, has re-signed with Indiana to an 8-year extension with $11.6 million of an annual salary. Here's what Sig had to say on the Indiana Hoosiers Twitter account.
We've accomplished a lot here in a short amount of time, but still have a lot of work to do. So I couldn't be more proud to be a Hoosier, and I plan on retiring as a Hoosier. And the way that this state has embraced us and our success in football has meant more to me than anything else. So I just wanted to get on camera and let you know that Curt Cignetti is going to work daily to make Indiana the best they can be.
So this is obviously answering Indiana's win over Oregon, right? That's why he got this extension?
Absolutely. And It is weird because this happens.
No,
we
Christian,
alluded
it's
to
because
it.
of the Penn State news.
Thank you.
It's because of the
Did I
Penn
miss-
State
Did I miss
news.
your answer? Did I miss your question?
If the reason Signetti got this extension, this raise, is because he beat Oregon.
Oh, all right.
No,
it's because of Penn State.
It's because of the Penn State game.
Point being, this is almost Burns teams in the long run. Think about the majority of coaches that do this. They get these long extensions. I'm sure Franklin's gotten a couple of these. And they extend him, bigger contract. Then, God forbid, 3 years down the line, they want to get rid of it, and then they got a $65 million buyout they got to deal with. It's almost it's a broken system because they re-sign him for too much off of leverage on the coach's end. The coaches really have all the power because the school either has to pay them or they walk. And then when they want to when the school actually wants to get rid of them, they pay them to walk. And that's where it really gets burned here. I mean, I don't think Indiana's getting rid of Signetti anytime soon, but you never know. You never know. But that's the type of leverage that it takes if you're Indiana.
Signetti should send, you guys know I love a steak dinner, one of my favorite things on the planet. Signetti should send him, James Franklin, a gift card to somewhere where he could take his wife and his two daughters, because this is the only reason that he's getting an extension, to not get poached. I can't wait for Indiana to fall on their face.
Number 2.
I can't wait.
So you don't like the fact that they re-signed him?
No, I just...
You're intimidated.
I'm not intimidated at all.
It is true.
There's a new red and white team in the Big Ten.
First off, we're not red. We're not red. We're scarlet.
According to the rest of the population, you're red.
We're scarlet.
Right. And Indiana's the new sheriff in town. You guys are the old timers. See ya.
Tell you what, Ohio State's lucky that there is no longer the Big Ten East or the Big Ten West, because Ohio State would have been stuck playing Indiana every year going forward.
Bring them on.
But now it's going to circle around, so they dodge some bullets sometimes.
Bring them on, boys. I'm not afraid of anyone in the Big Ten or the SEC. I think, Signetti's one of those guys who I think could build a program from the ground up. Is it going to be sustainable? We'll have to wait and see. I just think the only reason he got an extension, guys, they signed him to what, a 3-4 year deal? They signed him to a multi-year deal last year, and now they're extending him more because they don't want him to get poached.
Yeah, they're restructuring.
That's why I said, Christians, you're 100% spot on when you're asking, is this because of the Oregon win? Absolutely not. This is because of Franklin. This is because of the Penn State gig being open and Indiana afraid of him going to Penn State. That's it.
It's also leverage.
He's
got a good agent.
We'll circle back around to Signetti and company come 3-4 years when Indiana's probably trying to run him out of town. My best guess.
You just don't like
Number
Indiana.
2.
You can't just say no. This is personal for you for some odd reason.
I just don't think they're a top team in the country. I don't.
What more do they need to show you?
I don't think they're a top team in the country.
What more do they need to show you? What more? There's nothing that you could say.
They're not a top team in the country.
Based off of...
Because I don't think Oregon's any good either. I'm playing the schedule game. You can play the schedule game all you want. Oregon played nobody and beat Penn State, who just lost to Northwestern at home.
I mean, does Oregon, yes or no, have a plethora of talent? Yes or no?
This isn't the Oregon team last year with Gabriel and company.
Does Oregon have a plethora of talent? Yes or no?
Sure. I think they're
Does Oregon have a top 7 or 8 coach in college football?
They're vastly overrated this year. It's the point
they're
I'm trying to
overrated
make.
because they lose. You're trying to invalidate Indiana's wins. Well, you're trying to validate all of Ohio State's wins on the same point.
No.
This is where I can't take you seriously.
Ohio State.
The Big Ten stinks until it's Ohio State playing them, and then it's a huge win because it's on the road.
Ohio State proved it year in and year out, being the top team in the country and winning the whole kit and caboodle last year and having the best defense in the country this year and not missing a beat after losing the most out of any team in college football. I'm done hearing it. You guys, listen, you sound foolish here. Enough. Enough.
The Big Ten schedule doesn't matter when it's Indiana, but it's great when it's Ohio State playing them. That's where we're running into.
I didn't think Oregon was the 3rd best team in the country. Similar to how Illinois probably shouldn't have been ranked. That fair?
The same Illinois that Ohio State just beat?
Yeah. Is that fair? They probably shouldn't have been ranked. They lost by 53 points to a team.
You got to give Indiana credit eventually.
We'll see.
Because that team was the worst. I don't understand what's there to hate. They were the worst program in probably college football for years. And this guy has brought them into national prominence. I mean, if you sign up, a playoff appearance, yeah, they lost the 2 big games they played. Overrated, you want to call it, but that was the first year.
It was the first big game this guy's ever won. You can say
in 2
that.
years.
You
It's
can
not
say
crazy.
that. So
We've been looking for Franklin's for 10 years.
It's the first big game.
Yeah, but it happened this year.
Fine. Fine. We'll circle back around to this.
If we're talking about legacy
it's been
and
2
all
years.
that.
They've been waiting for James Franklin's namesake win for 10 years.
I
He
guess-
got in, 17 games?
So we're just crowning Oregon an elite team. We're crowning Oregon an elite team.
It has nothing to do with whether Oregon is elite or we know they're very good. There is no doubt that they are very good. There's no doubt.
Okay, I
And
disagree.
it's an in-conference road game. If that
I
team
disagree.
If that team has 4 losses, I will get on my knees and say you are the deity figure of ESPN West Palm.
Stop. They're not going to have 4 losses.
They're not.
They play
So
nobody. They play nobody.
Oh, they play nobody. Okay. So they're going to be a 10-win team that stinks.
When Ohio State beats the snot out of Indiana come the Big Ten championship, you're wearing a Buckeye hat. That's all I know.
God.
I'm done hearing it. Indiana is not a good football team. Done hearing it.
Not a good football team that's going to be probably undefeated in the regular season. How many not good football teams are undefeated?
Because they did the same thing last year and got smoked by a good team that they played. I'm done hearing it.
Last year's team didn't win out Oregon. Last year's team didn't play.
Oregon isn't Oregon from last year. Oregon barely beat Penn State at all, man. That's the only thing I'm trying to get out there.
In-conference road games.
I know it sounds like I'm just being a pompous Ohio State fan. I don't
that's
think
exactly
Oregon is
what you're
very
being. That's
Oregon,
exactly what you're
I don't think
being.
Oregon is a very good team this year.
You're only saying that
I don't.
to invalidate Indiana. It's the only reason you're saying that. The only reason, maybe
Indiana was flirting with
what? Flirting with what? They controlled the game.
They were flirting with disaster to losing to terrible teams early on in the year. Whatever, man. I'm down on Indiana. I don't think they're the third best team in the country. I think Alabama smokes them.
In the overrated SEC?
I think Miami. It's not overrated.
Oh, it's not.
It's not. There are good teams everywhere. Everywhere. There's one great team in the Big Ten, and that's Ohio State. And the rest, they're lucky to be in the top 10.
So that's why I can't take Ohio State seriously until they play good teams.
Okay, but
so now what?
No, the pedigree of Ohio State being an amazing team year in and year out and beating good opponents.
So the last year's team that Mike just said lost most out of anybody in college football. We got to take that team into consideration when judging this year's
What are we
team.
going to do when Ohio State goes back-to-back this year? What are we going to do?
We're going to validate Indiana.
We're going to validate Ohio State when they do it.
All right.
If they do it.
Yeah, it seems like
You're ready to do it now.
two know more than anybody in the country. You two know more than
You just
anybody.
said Oregon stinks.
but the no doubt number one football team in the country is Ohio State.
I'm just saying.
And they don't belong there.
I value resume. They don't have the resume to me that looks like the number one team. I would give that to Miami.
Then guess what? Neither does Indiana. Neither does Indiana.
I'd give that to Miami.
Neither does Indiana. Then.
Miami.
You guys are chasing each other's tail
Miami
here.
either. Okay, we can play schedule game with anybody. You guys are freaking out because you guys are getting on me because I think Indiana isn't a good football team.
I gotta throw the whistle.
And Signetti, it got an extension because Franklin got fired and they're worried about him going to Penn State.
But here's what just happened. We were talking about Curt Signetti and the Indiana Hoosiers. How did all roads lead back to Ohio State when you were delegitimizing anything Indiana's done, especially and not limited
because
to
it's
their
about
win
the
over
Ohio
Oregon?
State insecurity that they got to prove themselves every 5 seconds, and Indiana's finally doing something worth note and something that we could actually applaud. Like Ohio State lost at Oregon last year. Might be a different team, but they still lost. And it's the insecurity that they got to prove themselves to it. And Indiana's actually proven themselves in some capacity.
The schedule
and Mike
lined up
doesn't
that
like
way.
it because Ohio State hasn't. That's what's
not
bothering
true.
him.
Not
What about
Ohio
me?
State,
What about me?
Ohio State hasn't validated themselves this year, and Indiana has. That's what's pissing Mike off.
Oh,
Your thoughts?
Number
I'm
2.
done with it. You guys, honest to God, I question your college football knowledge. Let's move on.
Okay.
Honestly, let's move on.
Go ahead.
I question your knowledge on ghosts. Teoscar Hernandez does not question his knowledge on ghosts, or at least his wife's, because the Dodgers are back in L.A. That's good for them, because in Milwaukee, Teoscar Hernandez and his wife had to move hotels because he was afraid of the alleged haunted Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee. Apparently, it's not unique to Teoscar Hernandez. For years, Dodgers star Mookie Betts has also refused to stay in the Pfister Hotel that has a long reputation of being haunted in Milwaukee.
A lot of stars have.
And including yourself, Colin.
Bryce Harper said the same thing. The reason I know this is because I stayed in this godforsaken hotel. November of 2015, we were watching Bucks play the Cavs. The Cavaliers were actually in that hotel at the time. It's a nice hotel in downtown Milwaukee. It's old. And I'm not Ghost Guy. There's something in that hotel. I can confidently say that.
Can you explain what it was?
It might. So I shared a room with my dad. My dad could swear by it too. We shared a room, and it was one of those nights I didn't see anything, but you could hear it. You could feel it. There was a sense, an urgency. One of those things where you wake up clear as day in the middle of the night, something's up. You can feel it. And then what I heard, the way I could describe it, it's like if you're dragging something. Dragging like a deck of cards, a box across a carpet. Very distinct sound of something dragging across the carpet. And you hear that in the middle of the night, pitch black. I believe I was 13, 14 at this point. I wake my dad up. I'm like, what the hell is that? He goes, just go back to sleep. A couple minutes later, he gets up. He's like, what the hell is that? This continues throughout the night. And we didn't know that this place had things wrong with it until the next day when we asked. So this is not something like, this is not like confirmation bias. We didn't know. And we thought something was up. We even asked. And then the front desk person told us, yeah, this place kind of has I'm surprised they even told us. This place kind of has a reputation of being haunted. It's like top 10 most haunted hotels in the United States. There's something in that hotel.
Dude, why would anyone stay at this godforsaken place?
And there's an ESPN.com. There's an ESPN.com article of all these anecdotes from players moving out in the middle of the night because they can't deal with it.
Why the hell? Why are we booking this place? Bulldozer it.
It's crazy.
Bulldozer it.
I swear, never in my life an experience like that. I'm not like, I'm not Ghost Guy, Bigfoot, none of that. There was something in that hotel room. Something. And my brother was in a different room. He didn't sense anything, so I guess, I don't know. There was something there, and my dad can swear by it. There was something in that hotel.
Number 3.
That's all I got.
Let's go across the pond, all the way across the pond, to Vatican City, because Pope Leo was in the Pope Mobile, the back of the car, talking to his people, when someone from the crowd, I'm going to see if you can hear it first, and you can hear the back and forth. There's only 6 seconds. See if you can hear it. If you can hear it, I'll let you know what was said. Someone from the crowd yells, "Go Cubs!" Because Pope Leo's from Chicago. Well, Pope Leo's a big White Sox fan, apparently.
I believe he is. He was at the 2005 World Series.
He was on camera at that World Series, and he screams back, "Han perdido," which, through my friend Google Translate, says they lost. And then he translates himself for the English speaker and says they lost. Obviously alluding to the Cubs losing in Game 5 of their ALDS series against the Brewers. Is it still pretty freaking cool that the Pope is a baseball fan?
Is it a pretty bizarre concept to think that Pope Leo was watching Pete Crow Armstrong trying to scale the center field wall when the ball is 30 feet above him on a home run or on the strikeouts, and he's getting pissed off like the fellow fan, saying, how are you swinging at that?
Do they have TVs in the Vatican, or whatever? What's it called?
The Vatican City? I'm going to guess no, but I'm going to guess he has an opportunity to watch it.
There has to be. I don't
know. They're not anti-technology. I know that.
No, God, no. They got to be able to watch.
It's the holiest place in the world. That's the one thing I would say. They don't want TVs in there.
They've got TVs in churches, though, like when there needs to be like extra seating.
Yeah, this is the most. I don't know. But we're diving into the wrong direction here. I think it's just bizarre. If he watched the games, and I assume he did, at least some of them. If he's watching Brewers Cubs, 4 o'clock first pitch, 3 o'clock. He's watching at 10 p.m. Vatican time. And he's getting pissed off when Pete Crow Armstrong gets a strikeout in the 7th inning. That is a bizarre concept. I'm a fan of that. I
think he hates the Cubs.
You don't think he watched the Chicago team?
He's a White Sox fan. Every White Sox fan I know hates the Cubs.
Is it holy to hate watch? Like,
hold on. That's a good point.
You're rooting on someone's downfall.
I hope he'd hate watch.
That's a good point.
I'd hope he'd hate watch.
Yeah. He just goes out on strikes.
Isn't that the
Texting
point?
his buddies. PCA stinks.
Does
Leo?
Does Pastor Rob got the lowdown on the Vatican? Do we need to get him on?
Apostolic.
We can definitely ask Pastor Rob.
Should we
for
call
the update.
him?
I don't think he'd answer right
Apostolic Palace is where the Pope lives, the head of the Catholic Church.
I'm sure they have technology. I'm sure.
You
On
sure?
TV, though, no way. I don't think so. You think Pope has streaming services?
You have the
You think he has
MLB TV?
HBO Max to watch the NL games? I don't think so. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, it looks pretty old school.
You think he has TBS and True TV?
I think he's got it all.
Is he watching Impractical Jokers?
You think he's got Brewers, Cubs going right into Impractical Jokers?
He's
I don't
got
think so.
everything. He's got everything. He has to.
I don't think he has to.
He does not
He
have
has to.
streaming services.
Yes, he does. I think you guys are acting like this isn't a monastery. Like, they're not just, they're
The Pope does not have time to watch.
I feel like you guys are thinking these are monks who do nothing but write scripture and read scripture. Like,
No, but he's on the road. He doesn't have time for streaming services.
I mean, everyone's got to go to bed at some point.
You think
Everyone's
the Pope
gotta-
is scrolling on Netflix?
Dude,
before
yeah,
he
when
goes
he's
to
got
bed?
an hour to 2
He's the
hours
Pope.
to himself.
He's the Pope. What? He's going to bed. He's got an early morning for Mass or something. He's got to go out and wave his hand at the Vatican City.
We're all human, Kyle. We're all human.
I don't know, man.
Number
I don't think he
4.
has a TV or subscription services. But if you listen to Brian Anderson on the call, that'd be pretty cool, nonetheless.
We are going to go back to college football, where ESPN College Game Day announced that their big guest, as they're going to be at Georgia for the Georgia Ole Miss game, will not be someone from the South, will not be someone in the SEC. It will be recently fired head coach James Franklin.
Wow.
1 week after 6 days after his Penn State career came to an end, he will be joining the desk at College Game Day on Saturday morning. What do you think we're going to get out of this? Is this going to be coach speak?
I think he'll take the high road. I do. You agree?
I don't know why he's joining the desk to take the high road.
So,
Like, what?
You think he's doing this to get a paycheck so he gets the other $7.8 million? He takes the $100,000 to do it because that's part of his clause in his contract?
I really have no idea what's going to come of this.
So he's there from start to finish.
No,
He
definitely
is?
not.
Just the picker?
No, he's just doing an interview. He's going to join.
Yeah, because remember the opposing coaches join. I doubt they're going to have Franklin there.
I think he'll thank Penn State, honestly.
I would
think
lean on the side
Franklin's
of...
a good dude.
I would lean on the side of, high road.
Everything I heard of Franklin is he's a great guy and his players love him. And I think it would be a bad look. I think James wants to coach again, too. I think it'd be a tremendously bad look for him to go out there and badmouth Penn State, personally.
I agree with that. I don't think he'll do that. I think it's weird that he's going on. Maybe they asked him to, and he thought, what difference does it make? I'll just say the good things about Penn State and try to set them up for success in the future by saying this is a great job. Somebody should go get it.
I hope he takes like a year off to himself, though.
Well, he has to go get a job. That's part of his clause. He has to go get a job.
Hey, get off your butt. Let's go.
I don't think he could willingly do that in order to get his buyout. I think maybe he does the CBS halftime desk.
The only reason I say that guy's been through a lot, man. He really has. And listen, was it self-inflicted? Sure, Christian.
Been through? All right. There's been people that have been through a lot.
He's
I
been
wouldn't follow him under that umbrella.
Compensated very fairly.
A head coach.
He's been compensated very fairly.
All of them do.
Right.
In the head coaching community, he's been through a lot for not winning a big game and fizzling out in every single big game he's ever been in outside of 2016 and a couple of handfuls. That's what. I mean, they heckle his children in tunnels and that's a lot. I understand money. Listen, guys.
Do they? They don't They heckle him while he's standing next to his children.
They heckle us, dude.
Have you been there? Have you watched it happen? I've been there.
We've seen videos.
While James Franklin gets his butt kicked by Ohio State, I've been sitting on the front row. I've never seen someone take a shot at his kid.
The tunnels.
When he's walking through after the game?
Angry Penn State fans in the tunnels. There's videos of them.
No, they're not. That's not what's happening. It's a misinformation. They're not heckling his kids. They're heckling James Franklin, who's next to his daughter.
Disagree. You guys have heckled the kids.
Please send me every proof you have of that. That's complete garbage.
I will.
I haven't seen that either.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't seen that. But I do see him going back and forth with fans all the time. He does that. He's not afraid to, share his mind when he's going back and forth with fans.
He's been through a lot. I hope he'd take a year off, but it sounds like he can't because of whatever's in the contract. So, Virginia Tech's open. I think they'd be very lucky to get James Franklin as their head coach to get back to relevancy.
Maybe.
Number 5.
He'll get a job. He'll get a Power 4 job.
Let's go to the ice. Let's go to the home opener. First game ever in Utah for the Utah Mammoth as they debuted their mascot, and he goes by the name of Tusk. Take a look live on YouTube. What's your verdict on how they executed the Utah Mammoth mascot, Tusk.
I like it. That's cool. I love the colors, by the way. I think they got a great jersey. Hockey always nails the expansion or the relocation teams or expansion teams. Seattle, I think the Seattle have really cool jerseys as well. I thought Golden Knights look good. I mean, all those new franchises do look cool. I like that. I'm a fan. That's a hockey. It seems like a hockey town to me. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, I kind of like the logo. No, I'm kind of all for it.
Yeah,
I'm kind of all for it. I remember when this started. I think I was still in Peoria when they were like deciding what to name the team and going through the whole thing. I'm always for expansion franchises as long as it's not at. And this was at the expense of who? The Coyotes.
Arizona.
The Coyotes.
Arizona. Yeah.
But they weren't filling the arena. Like
that's not a hockey.
It's not a story. Like if it. Like the only reason I do is because the Browns left and it's a football town. Like you hate to see that. You hate to see a hockey town lose a team. You hate to see like a city lose a team that was beloved, right? This wasn't one of those cases, so therefore I'm all for it. And I actually really like the names and the logos.
There's your 5 and 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union. Mike and I got to make our picks for Cover 5, which will be very interesting because we got a big week. I believe Christian and Theo had a good week.
They took the lead.
Week.
Christian's been on fire.
Yeah, they've been hitting.
Christian's been on fire.
All right,
yeah, we have the pot is now $75 of Duffy gift cards being given away to. If you can beat Russo and Rizzo, and theoretically speaking, you're entered in that drawing, that final prize for this week is now $75 since it rolled over week over week.
That's a plentiful night over at a Duffy Sports Grill if you get $75 to play with. That's Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. Cover 5 picks on to week 7 of the NFL season. Coming up on the other side of things, it's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
In office, West Palm Beach.
The 5 p.m. hour is presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage, the world's only total relocation company. Local or long distance, they've got you covered.
Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers.
The PGA Tour is back in Palm Beach. The Cognizant Classic returns February 25th through March 1st to the Champion Course at PGA National Resort and Spa. Be here to watch PGA Tour players take on the Bear Trap, one of the toughest stretches in golf, while enjoying elevated fan activities around every corner. Experience the energy with your friends and take in the excitement of this can't-miss event. Tickets are on sale now at thecognizantclassic.com.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
ESPN 106.3 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet, home of Inter Miami, Miami Heat, and the Miami Dolphins. Catch all the action and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 106.3. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. Wager terms and conditions apply. Considered by gambling, call 1-888-ADMITTED.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
You lather, rinse, moisturize, and repeat. At this point, you're practically training for the Shower Olympics. But here's the twist. It's not your shampoo's fault, it's your water. Hard water leaves a mineral residue that clogs your pores and dries out your hair. Culligan water softeners remove damaging minerals, revitalizing brittle hair and dry skin. Upgrade your shower system today for only $79 a month. Visit Culligan.com for more information or just say,
"Hey, Culligan man!"
Gators fans, you still have 3 chances to catch Florida football live in the Swamp this season. Don't miss homecoming against Mississippi State on October 18th. Military Appreciation Day versus Tennessee on November 22nd. And Florida State for Senior Day on November 29th. Visit FloridaGators.com to get your tickets today.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat. 888-760-3776, a number to get into the program on Russo and Rizzo. We got to make some picks. You got some good football and baseball coming up tonight. You got Seattle and Toronto, Game 4. You got a little action between the Brewers and the Dodgers, Game 3. And you got some Thursday night football between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. But first, we will go north to Jensen Beach, where John joins us in Jensen Beach. John, welcome in. What's on your mind? What do you got?
All right, I got a bone to pick with you guys on this Indiana argument.
Go ahead.
All right. Number one, they didn't get smoked in the playoffs by Notre Dame last year. It was a block punt and a punt return. If you look at the box score, the difference in the game was 2 special teams plays, not smoked. Second, you don't have to play the schedule game. Ohio State and Indiana have a common opponent. You guys want to look it up? It's Illinois. How many did Ohio State win by? I think they won by 20. Indiana State scored 70. 70 Indiana scored on Illinois.
John, you're listening on the radio right now, I presume. It looks like Mike Rizzo's dog just got hit by a car.
John, Kirk Cignetti is a guy who is known to run up the score and be a sore winner and a sore loser. Ryan Day had the chance to run up the score, decided not to. The game was on the road in Illinois. It was their Super Bowl. Every game Ohio State plays on their schedule, it's the other team's Super Bowl. And I dumb it down to Cignetti having no class at all. And that's from a lot of college football circles, that Kirk Cignetti is one of the, not a very nice guy at all. And not a lot of people like him.
No, he's a bad guy.
And then
yeah, he actually heckled James Franklin's daughter.
The only reason I'm getting upset about this is because Indiana, to this in my eyes, has still accomplished absolutely nothing.
Well,
Kirk
let's get John's thoughts on this.
Kirk Cignetti is getting a massive extension for what? Beating an overrated Oregon team who lost their starting quarterback.
John is still with us.
Barely escaped Penn State.
Indiana is the most losingest program in the history of the Big Ten.
Okay?
So you're not going to give him a little credit?
How much is it? Come on. I mean, he turned a program that was the losingest program in the conference into they're a perennial power. You can say they're not. He comes in last year. They make the playoff. They're going to make the playoff this year. They're going to play for the conference title this year. And you're telling me that they're not good?
I'm saying that they're not a team that's competing for a national title and not the third team in the country. I'd pick 4 SEC teams over them. I might pick 2 ACC teams over them. And I think Ohio State wins by 3 scores.
Oh, well, you know what? When that spread comes out, let's you and I talk.
Okay.
John, you know the number. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a basketball school. In the end of the day, it's a bad basketball school that is flirting with a decent football season over the last 2 years. That's what Indiana is. I'm over the Indiana stuff. I'm over it. I really am.
Well, you're gonna have to deal with it because
Kurt Signetti's a bad guy.
I'm not dealing. That's what I hear.
He's a
no
bad
names,
guy.
No names, please. I got pretty good source on that.
Oh, fans with sources.
Same guy who said Penn Staters were heckling James Franklin's daughter. That's the same people that are telling you that, I guess, because they were wrong there.
Matt Rule, by the way. But regardless, I am looking forward to Indiana probably winning the rest of the schedule and facing off against Ohio State in Indianapolis. Very much so looking forward to it.
It's a home game.
Good. Good.
That's right down the street from
Buckeye
Bloomington.
fans travel well. It's about 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours away from Columbus.
How devastated would you be if Indiana would win that game?
Not at all, because you still got the college football playoff where I think Ohio State's the best team in the country.
Then the game doesn't matter. Because
if Indiana beat Ohio State, what would that do to your opinion of Indiana?
It would validify it. It would validify it. For
Wait,
sure.
you mean change it?
It would put validity to Indiana.
Okay.
And the daughter remarks come from Rule, by the way, the Matt Rule stuff.
How many teams in the country could Indiana beat, and then you would validate their season? Ohio State's one of them.
It needs to be Ohio State. They need to beat, to you,
compete. No.
the best team in the country.
Compete with Ohio State and show something in the playoff. And listen, John, I apologize if it sounded like it was going at your partner, but it's like
controlled that game, but it was the special teams killed them all year, killed them against Ohio State.
That's what I was going to bring up, like how much of it is just coming down to not being ready to play in a big game. Now, at Ohio State was a tough matchup, and Ohio State was playing bad football at that time too.
Oh, so
they really were.
The Indiana
they
loss.
really were. They really were. I mean, coming from a Buckeye fan, the Buckeyes were reeling, and then a couple of weeks later, I think the week after, they got beaten by Michigan at home. So, like, I don't know.
It was the week after.
I think if Indiana gives Ohio State a game, all right, and shows up in the college football playoff, we could sit here and discuss if the Notre Dame game was showing up or not. Fine.
So,
but I think comparatively, they are not the number 3 team in the country.
So let's put this into, let's define what you're saying. The team, like John put it, that was the losingest program in the Big Ten. What, 30 months ago? They have to beat the perennial powerhouse Ohio State in the Big Ten championship.
Compete.
To
show you belong on the field.
To show Mike Rizzo that they belong as the 3rd team in the country. How many teams can say that?
This is, to me, it's just the winning. I don't think Oregon is very good. I know they were high up on the ranks. Who have they beaten outside of? And I know we're back to the schedule game. We're back to the schedule game. But Oregon.
Wait. Are you like chastising us going back to the schedule game when we go look at the schedule game?
We like the schedule game.
I don't think Oregon's a good team. There's no need for me to get in this. I don't think Oregon's a good team.
Who's the 3rd best team in the country if Indiana's not? Who, are you giving it to A&M? You don't think A&M's any good? You don't think Ole Miss is any good? You love Alabama.
I think those teams are better than Indiana. Absolutely. A&M when they're and what they've been able to do over the last 2 years, how competitive they looked against good SEC teams. Yes, I think they're better than Indiana.
A&M lost every big game they played last year, including home against Texas last game of the year when they had a chance. I understand, but we got to make some picks. I don't know. Which team is the 3rd best? If it's not Indiana, who? Georgia Tech? Let's make our cover 5 picks. Let's band together for a second. We've already made our picks, thankfully.
Alabama's better than Indiana. Ole Miss probably should be higher than Indiana.
The same team that Washington
won by 3 to Washington
same
State.
argument that Washington
Correct.
State and Washington killed Washington State, and then Washington State kept it close against Ole Miss.
We did this with Indiana last year. And look what happened. It's going to be the same thing, but it's okay.
History does not repeat
guys,
itself.
it's okay. It's okay. It's going to be the same exact thing, and I'm going to be here for you guys on Russo and Rizzo when it happens again. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. I'll be the bad guy for about 6 more weeks. Be the bad guy for about 6 more
Stop
weeks.
invalidating a school because they're having their first good football team in decades.
It's not. I just don't like the coach.
Bad guy.
I don't like the coach. I don't like Signetti.
What did we pick for cover 5, Mike? We went a couple different
Yeah,
directions.
we did. We went with a lot of underdogs this week. We went very heavy in favorites last week. It kind of burned us a bit as I'm loading up my app here.
Yeah, so what we did,
we
went
went
a couple
with
different
Dallas.
directions.
We went with Dallas. Dallas at home, they're dogs, 1.5 to Washington.
And we need lightning bets here, so we need to win points against the actual spread. It's not just winning straight up, it's winning against the actual spread.
With how good Dak Prescott has been slinging it, I think Dallas could possibly blow out Washington.
I mean, the thing is their defense is going to have to show up. They haven't showed up at all. So you're going to need to see something defensively from Dallas. I know they're getting a little healthier. That's all good. They're going to be able to score. So I agree with that.
Next is New England. Their favorite 7.5 on the road. It's one of the bigger lines of Sunday.
Yeah,
I love Vrabel going back to Tennessee. That
I
didn't
kind of
end
agree.
well.
The one thing, as I would say, is you got to see how Tennessee responds. First week, no Brian Callahan. Whether they come in with some guts or not remains to be seen. But New England's playing well right now. You got to ride in the hot hand. I think that hot hand will continue. I'd be surprised if they were punched in the face.
This is Vrabel's victory lap, I think. The guy they replaced him with is not there anymore, and now he has found a new job and is back home with the New England Patriots. I think they blow him out. We went with the Browns -2.5 against Miami. The Dolphins are apparently going to be dealing with a lot of bad weather in Cleveland, 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah. There better be a hurricane in Cleveland this weekend. That's what we need.
Tua in hot water after calling out the team. I think that's a pretty good pick. And then, Colin, Las Vegas, we took the Raiders +12.5 at Kansas City. That's usually a close game.
That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points for a divisional
+12.5.
game. That's Pete Carroll coaching that team. You don't think that they're going to show up for an important divisional game where you got something to prove there? There's a little bit more pride attached. I mean, are they really going to get blown out? Kansas City coming off the high of a huge win. I could see them coming back down to reality. Close game. Remember that Black Friday game, Aiden O'Connell took them down to the wire. Totally happen again.
Indiana +1.5, our final pick at the Chargers.
Indiana, the Big Ten team?
Indianapolis, excuse me.
You would never take Indiana.
Indianapolis, Kyle, +1.5, and you got the you kind of got the shtick to this game.
There's the theme of that game. They're going to SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles the second time in a month. It's a little different the second time around. It's not as much of a road test. You've played in that building before, and they played well. They lost to the Rams a couple weeks ago. They're doing it again. Not going to be nearly as many fans for the Chargers as there are the Rams, even though there's none for the Rams to begin with. That's a game where I could see the Colts playing really well there. I know they're 5-1, maybe due to lose. Chargers were lucky to win that game against Miami last week. And playing in that building second time in a month, there's a theme. They're not going to lose in that building twice in a month.
I think the Chargers are reeling, too. They got out to that hot start, beating Kansas City and Brazil. And then certainly things it kind of falling apart a little bit. A couple of bad losses by the Chargers. I could see it.
4-2, still in a decent spot, but they need to turn it around. I agree. Join the Cover 5 app. Download it on the App Store for free. And join our league, ESPN West Palm. Use code MVP 2025 to get in on the action. If you beat myself and Mike this week, if you beat Christian Cat and Theo Dorsey, enter in for a chance for a couple prizes, including some Duffy's gift cards, which we are handing out weekly. Make some picks against the spread, lightning bet style. Take 5 picks. That's on the Cover 5 app. That's Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. Big thanks to Christian Cat keeping us up over the air today. We'll be back at it tomorrow, where we got some high school coverage and a whole lot of games to preview. That's all coming up tomorrow right here. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Miami Dolphins football is back at Hard Rock Stadium. The party starts the second you hit the